Welcome to the First Customers Podcast. Today, we have Aytekin Tank with us. He is the founder and CEO of JotForm, a company with 25 million users. Aytekin, welcome to the show. Looking forward to talking to you about how you got your first customers.
Yeah. Hi, Paris. Thank you for having me on your show.
So let's get right into it. How did you get your very, very first customer?
Yeah. So when you are starting out, I think there's these two big problems. So the first one is, how can you have a good product or service, right? How can you make sure your product is good? It's well, right? The second problem is, how can you bring people to try your product, right? Use your product. So those two things are the challenges. So I didn't want to attack those two big problems at once. So what I did was I decided, okay, I'm just going to make my product free. That's how I started. So 2005, long time ago, right? I quit my job. And summer, I quit my job. I said, okay, I'm going to work on this product for next 6 months. And then I'm going to release it and then I'm going to release it for free. In 2006, February, I, released JotForm to the world. So, I made it completely free. And when I made it free, so now I'm dealing with the biggest problem, right? How can I bring traffic to my product? In that angle, I decided that I'm going to actually try to do PR by using the technology angle. So my product, JotForm, is an online form builder. But back then, it's products actually you actually install software on your computer, right? You would actually go and download and install software to your computer, right? You didn't use products on the browser. Like Gmail just came out a year before, so Gmail is this new product, new kind of product that you can actually use on your browser. Salesforce probably came earlier, but it wasn't very famous. So this idea of SaaS was just happening, and it wasn't very even the word SaaS wasn't invented back then.
Right.
But basically, having a product on the browser, having this a product where you can actually drag and drop fields into your form, just create your form on the browser, single page app, drag and drop, instant edit. These were new things. So what I did was I just did PR, just emailed all these technology news sites, and they said okay, I have this website. It's similar to Gmail. It's single page app. You can it's a cool app. Right. I use the technology angle. But so if today I was coming out, I would actually use the AI angle because everybody wants to talk about AI. But back then it was kind of this new technology, using JavaScript to create a software was an interesting idea. So that's what I did. I emailed everyone, and I launched on there was this business of software forums. So I was kind of a member there. I was just I wasn't posting a lot, but I was actually reading a lot. But I knew what the audience was, people who were creating their products. And for example, the founder of Dharmesh was there as well. When I launched, he actually wrote a reply there as well. Founder of HubSpot, Dharmesh.
I don't know.
HubSpot, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so that was I also use that community. So, and that actually started rolling the ball. Basically, I started getting these, first signups. So in the beginning, I was getting 100 visitors per day, maybe 20 signups per day. And then the great thing, and the other thing I did was I didn't want to put a blog in front of people when they wanted to try my product. I just put the product right on the homepage. So when you went to jotform.com, you would just see the form builder, and then you would play with it because I wanted people to play with it and mention to others. And that's exactly what happened. People started mentioning to others, hey, here's this product that's interesting. Try this product. And you could just try the product. And if you really wanted to use the product, then you had to sign up, and it was all free. So in the first year, until like March 2007, like more than a year, it was completely free. And a year later, I already had like 15,000 people using this product for free. So I just I just launched the premium version. I said, okay, hey, we now have a premium version. It's just $9 per month. Just go and sign up. And right away, like I had like 500 customers in a
Wow.
few months, like just people actually upgraded to paid version. But the important thing was, there are like two issues, right? How can I have a good product or service, and how can I bring people to it, right? So I solved that problem, bringing people to it. But my product actually sucked in the beginning. It wasn't that great. But because I had all these free users, and I actually had this, like I actually did support on a forum. So basically, I had this PHP on JotForm.com where people could just write to me. And people saw that when there is a problem, when they requested something, like I would come back next day, I would say, hey, it's fixed, or I would say, hey, I implemented that. Let's just go and use it, right? So this kind of created this community around the product. And people actually knew that they can there's only a single person behind this product. That was obvious. But they knew that like I was really dedicated, and I was like just fixing everything, and I was adding all the features they requested. And that just and it was free. That actually I had a year to fix the product, like just make it so good that people would pay for it. And I actually hired my first employee like September 2006. I hired my first employee, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna more focus on like this existing customers, just fixing things for that. I want you to just work on these few features so that people will pay for it. Like I added PayPal integration so people could, because that was one of the most asked features. How can I collect payments from my forms, right? They were asking things like that, like how can I send emails to multiple people? Like I don't remember many of them, but basically all those features that were more complicated than just I could implement in a single day. I told my my buyer, just go build this, and I'm gonna deal with the users, just make them happy. And then we built those. We called it the premium version. We added some like cool features, like cool looking features, like improved the design and things like that. And then we released the premium version. And I remember like just we sent the email very early, and then because it was so early, our first like someone from Spain, a school from Spain, because it was very early for the US. Because if there is a problem, we wanted to catch it beforehand. Someone from Spain, they upgraded, right? And then next, someone from the UK, they upgraded, and then the upgrades from the US came, and it was a great moment. Even though I was just getting like $9,
Yeah.
and I was lucky because, I had my savings. I kind of had other products as well, like these small products that was
Okay.
kind of selling as well. They weren't very successful, but, they actually helped. Like I was just, alone. So I didn't have a lot of burn rate. I didn't have a family. I was this single person. And so I worked for another company for 5 years before I started JotForm. I worked for this New York media company, and actually, the idea for JotForm came from that time because we had like over 100 websites, and our editors would come to me and ask me like, I need this form, I need that form. Like they needed contact forms, surveys, polls, questionnaires, like contests, application forms, things like that. I would just build all these forms, and I hated it. Like I just didn't want to build another form. So I was looking for another product, but I couldn't find another product. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna build this product, and I'm gonna, start my own business. And
Right.
rest is history.
That's an incredible story. It's like the classic SaaS story. I feel like at this point in history,
Yeah.
that's what a lot of the like developer entrepreneurs are striving for, is like that storyline. It's like I'm gonna launch a freemium product and then flip it pro version, and you know sail off into the sunset. So that's really cool to hear. And you were truly just a solo developer at first.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
so,
2000,
how long before you
yeah.
hired?
to 2006 September, first year, I was alone.
Okay. Wow. And did you hire that person before or after you launched the premium version?
After I launched it on February 2006, so 6 months after I launched the product, I hired my first employee.
Okay. And so the premium version hadn't launched yet, or you did have the premium
Yeah,
version?
so that was like 2007.
I got you.
So the time between me just quitting my job and earning my first $9 from that
Right.
customer from Spain is like 1.5 years. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's good to hear that time frame of what it takes. And then I'd like to back up a little bit because I think, one of the things that I've done in the past is make that kind of judgment error where you hear this story. It's like, oh, you just got to launch something that solves a problem and, you know, um, it's an instant success or whatever. But one, it took a year and a half of you building and, making it better and better, answering customer questions and all that, in that kind of customer feedback and improvements loop. But before that, like you said, you had a career and you'd launched several other products. So let's back up a little bit and get into like what your profession was before and maybe a little bit about those other products and how you got the first customers for some of those other things you've done.
So I developed my first product while I was a student. When I was in the university studying computer science, I created like we had this club, students club, and I wanted to, like, at that time, like, Facebook didn't exist. I'm talking about 1998. Facebook didn't exist yet, and just like we needed like this membership, like profile section, like webs for our website. Like we had a website, like we just needed that. So I did that. Like I built this like product to like create these profiles, like sign up, login, right? And at that time, it was actually very difficult to do things like that. And I actually released it as open source. So when I released it as open source, that I actually started gaining traction. Like people were actually using the product. There was
What was it
this
called?
print newsletter that I was. What's that?
What was it called? That first product?
Profile Manager. I
Okay.
called it Profile Manager. Yeah. And SidePoint newsletter was a big thing at that time. Like they featured my product as an open source product for free product, and I received downloads. So I actually had people. So because it was a free product, people actually started asking me, can I pay you to just build this feature for me, right? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm a student, right? I need that money. So and I did that. Like I went ahead and just built those features, and I received a check for $150, right? Just wow, that's amazing, right? That was
Yeah.
for me. And then I decided, okay, this is working. So I will build a premium version. So I built Profile Manager Premium, and it was selling fifth a month. But the problem was it was actually very difficult to install. Like you had to install it on your website, right? You had to it was written in Perl CGI, which doesn't even exist now today. It probably exists, but nobody knows about. Right? It was very difficult to install on your website. So what would happen is that people would get it, they couldn't install it, so I would install them for it. Like just spending a lot of time helping them. Just it wasn't very scalable, and I didn't know much about marketing. Like I didn't know how to kind of market this, like just get people. So I never thought that when I graduate I'm gonna start this business. I was about to graduate, so I found a job working for this media company in New York, internet.com. And what I would do is every morning I would wake up, I would check the emails, like I would receive some support emails, I would answer to them. Maybe someone purchased the product, I would just install it for them. And I would go to work, and then when I finished the work, I would come back home, and then I would see, I would receive a few support questions, few, installation help requests, and I would do those things. So it was kind of like a side product. but it actually helped me a lot. I actually learned a lot. Like I had a website. I learned about SEO. So I always recommend, like, if you are gonna start your own business, don't just cold quit your job like I did. I did that, but I don't recommend it. And then just work on it. Just start out like on the side. Just
Right.
start building things on the side, because you will learn a lot. And I worked there for 5 years, and during that time I was also doing all these other things. So I kind of understood what it takes to. I understood that why this product didn't work, because it was hard to install, hard to use, right? It wasn't very easy. Like I needed to build a product that people could just go and use it right away. Like they didn't need to install it somewhere. I wanted them to just try it, use it. They're just very. And in the beginning, JotForm was like all about, like, actually you would actually put the forms on your website, right? Like today, like more than half of JotForm users, they actually they don't put it on their website. They just use the forms in their business. But at that time, like, they would actually, so it was a similar product. You would still use it on your website, but you wouldn't need to like install something software on your like server. So it was easy to use. Like most people
Right.
couldn't just install software on their server anyways, right? Just but putting putting this HTML code for your form was easy. Like anybody could do that. Anybody who has had website could do that. So I understood that if there's blockers in front of your product for people to use it, then those blockers are not just like, if a blocker is like, it takes them like half an hour, it doesn't just like reduce your like number of people who use your product by like 10%. It actually reduces it by 99%,
Hmm.
because you want people to be able to quickly like just use the product, right? If you have things that prevent people from trying your product, using your product, it's like, those blockers are so huge. Like even at JotForm, like we had this product, we still have it by the way, but almost no one uses. Like we have this mobile app for JotForm, right? And in our JotForm enterprise product, you can actually like just make your own mobile app, right? For your forms. But because it requires, like, you need to go to Apple and Android, you need to create your developer account, and then you need to take this, code and upload it. So because it requires like so many steps, like no one uses it, right? It's just it's about making it easy to use. It's about just solving those blockers that's in front of your product or service. And if someone can just use your product or service quickly and just easily, then that's gonna, like, you're gonna have hundred times more users than uh and people assume that these problems are not that big, right? I will help them, right? The problem is, like, people will not even ask for your help
Right.
if something is difficult. Yeah.
How did you decide when to move on from one side project to another? Like, I'm assuming the profile manager is shut down at this point.
Yeah.
I know that can be something that's difficult for entrepreneurs. You get lots of ideas started and you don't want to let go, or kill the baby, so to speak. It's like you always want to hope that it could work eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't want to build a product that's only used by a few people. Um, and so that's why I decided that, and they didn't have any growth. Like they were maybe selling, a fifth. I was selling just, a fifth license of my software per month. So it wasn't enough to like build a business on it, right? On top of it. So I decided I needed to build a product that can scale, that can actually grow to become a big business, big product. I never thought this big, right? Today, JotForm has like 600 employees. We have offices in like, 7 different cities and just, 25 million users. I didn't think that we would be this big, but I thought that, I would, I wouldn't be like a single person. I would hire people and we would grow. So that's why like there was no growth. I think that's a big thing, right? So at JotForm, we actually build all these additional products for our users. And when we build a new product, what we do is like we actually just quickly release, maybe it take like 1 month or 3 months to quickly release an MVP, minimum viable product, just minimum version. Let's see if people are actually using it, like if there's an adoption, right? If no one is using it, either we pivot it or either we just, try to find out why people are, maybe it's the UX user experience is broken and then people cannot figure out how to use it. And we try to fix it, but if we cannot fix it, we just abandon that idea at all, completely. But even with that minimum version, if people are using it, right, we have something people use and we release it to like 1% of our users, and then we start building on it, right? We start adding features, we get feedback from users, exactly like how I built JotForm in the beginning, right? Just release an MVP, get feedback, fix the product, and improve on it. And the growth is about like, do we have this line that's always going up and right? And if we don't have that, if it's a straight line, then it's not gonna work out. It's not it's not something you can build on. Like you need to be able to grow the product. And how do you grow a product? Like you improve the product and you bring more people to it. So even even if you improve the product, even though you are improving the product and bringing people to try it, and then even after that, if you cannot get it to like go up and right, then I think it's time to abandon it. Just find a product that works, and that's what I did. Like a few products I had before, they didn't have any growth. So I didn't actually abandon them. By the way, like just like I would wake up, answer questions for my side products, and then I would go to the office, work 8 hours, and then come back home and answer my customers. I would actually do the same, right? I would actually wake up and just answer customers, and then I would work on JotForm, and then just like continue doing that. So that kind of I had that side, additional additional revenue to help me out while I had this free product.
So you did have other products that were bringing in money while you would quit your job and focused on JotForm.
Yeah,
Okay, so it wasn't like quitting your
saving.
job and just living off savings 100%. You had that side revenue coming in already.
It also gave me confidence because
Right.
I already had some, I didn't have any like burn rate. Like I wasn't like, hey, I was gonna run out. That actually helped me make that decision, right? Because I wasn't running out of money. That I also, went back and started living with my family, right? That also helped, like my burn rate, like just
Yeah.
went to zero. And that was very helpful. So I could actually go on more if I wanted to, right? Just
So the other
and
side projects, they were fully covering your expenses at that point?
yeah, they were actually covering my expenses. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a huge point there because that's a temptation, whether it's from frustration or just having the big dream, thinking, I'm just going to quit and put everything into this. And I've got 3 months to do it. And I've done that foolishly before where I thought, just need a couple months. I'm going to leave my job and then
And
realize, oh, wait, 3 months isn't enough time.
having a runway and then like just seeing that going down every month, it's very stressful, right?
Yeah,
I was
extremely.
like, I didn't have that. Like, just I had like, and I was even able to hire my first employee. Yeah, that helped out a lot.
I foolishly did that with wife and kids, so it was extremely stressful at the time. And then it was like, okay, I need to go get a job and worry about side projects on the side. So yeah, I think that your way is much better. Makes a whole lot more sense. Okay. And what were you studying? in college?
Computer science.
Computer science. I figured. Okay. So that put you in the communities that you were in, that you started solving problems for, because you were in that industry, you were studying to be in that industry at least. And it sounds like you were just solving the frustrations or the problems you ran into along the way.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually like that. I created like when I was students. I actually um, created this product for the student organization, and then I put it online as a free product, right? And then people who were using it, they weren't like student organizations. They were people who were building websites. Like they wanted to have this community in their websites. And I was always receiving these features. And one day I started receiving all these from different people who were saying, hey, can you make it like Facebook? Can you make it like Facebook? And that's when the Facebook actually came. And I guess one of the reasons this product kind of wouldn't actually work out was like kind of Facebook killed all those websites, like community websites, and
Yeah.
then everybody started building their communities on Facebook. So that might be another reason that this product actually didn't have a feature.
Gotcha. It's just the competition exploded in a
Yeah.
direction that, yeah, yours couldn't keep up with at the time. Yeah, that was a wild time in the internet where everything was, all the big, huge companies that exist now were just getting started. I remember when Facebook came out, and it was so different than MyCast because you could like drag and drop to move your little profile boxes around. And that was one of the first kind of really popular drag and drop interfaces, I think, where you could just move the boxes on your profile. And MyCast, like you had to, on a MySpace, you had to go into the HTML if you wanted to edit stuff or whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that
was
was
MySpace as well, right? People were
yeah.
also asking, like, they wanted to create their own MySpace, and they were using my product to do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's crazy. But it seems like JotForm worked out just fine for you with 25 million users now. That's a lot of users to manage. Can't imagine. So I'm sure you've got whole teams of support and feedback. And you still on that kind of same listening to customers and adding features, or do you guys have kind of your own sense of the product and customer base now and your own roadmap that's kind of separate from that?
At some point, I had to stop doing support because, like, I remember a few years into JotForm, I was like, from morning to night, I was just answering customers. And I said, enough is enough. Like, I just went to Upwork. At that time, it was called Odesk. And I
Yeah.
just hired like 5 people from around the world. I just handed this support to them. And I needed to do that because I was able to like focus more on the company and the product because of that. But even today, customer feedback is really important. So, for example, today we are working on a product called JotForm AI, and we have been working on it for a year. We haven't released it yet. It's just, but we released it to a very small number of users within the product, right? And when people like when we release it to as a beta to the beta users, what we are doing is like we are like listening to all this feedback from them, right? What they are asking about. This product involves basically this product is about like just replacing forms with AI agents. So instead of talking to a form, filling out a form, like you talk to an AI agent, and then
Right.
AI agent fills the form for you or answers your questions or does
Cool.
other things if you need to. And what we do is like we actually watch all those conversations and just like and we see where it's failing, and then we are improving the product. So with this product, we don't even need to like go to the owner of the agent, like the owner of the form. We can actually see the conversation happening between the end user and the AI agent, and then we actually have like 3 people. They are actually watching from morning to night, like just full day. They are watching all those conversations, and they are like and every day they are creating these reports. Like, I created these 3 bug reports. This was the best conversation. Like, our AI agent like really did amazingly here. This was the worst conversation. Our AI spectacularly failed. Our AI agent failed. And these are the features that we need to build. So they're kind of like just created that feedback, because like when we release this product, like when we release to 25 million users, there's going to be a lot of bugs and problems. So what we are doing is like and we are maybe losing opportunities, right? So we are basically working with just like a startup who only has like a few users. So it's actually a feature, like it's not a bug. When you are just starting out and when you only have a few users, it's actually an opportunity to learn from them. And and like the product manager for this product, I told him a trick that I used in the past. Like I told him, like, go and just send them an email, right? Just I'm the product manager for JotForm AI. I know you are using it as a beta user, and just I told her that just send an email, like text email like that, just. And she actually made the mistake. She made this like large email with HTML email, like just we need your feedback, and then no one was responding. And I asked her like, "Hey, how is it going? Like, what do people say about it?" And she was saying like, no one is actually responding. I told her, I asked to see the email, and I saw that like she's just like big email. I saw just one line, right? Just ask them like, how is it going? Just uh, not like text. Just write it yourself. Don't like automate it.
Right.
Even if you automate it, just automate the text email. How is it going? Like, I'm the product manager. Like, I wanted to find out like how is it going. I saw that you stopped using the product. Can you tell me why? Just like a single sentence, it works really well. Like you have like like because people know that it's genuine. It's not just like automated email that's and people actually respond with genuine answers, and then you have this conversation and you learn from your customers. And we also do user interviews, and we have like user researchers who are just like doing like they will just send emails to people who like, for example, they want to find out like people who use this feature, what do do they like it? How do they think like it should be improved? Like what kind of ideas they have? So what they will do is like they will just send an email to them, and they will say, okay, if you can spare us like 45 minutes, you know, we want to also send you this Amazon gift certificates as well, like for your time. Just we want to, pick your brain, learn more about how you use JotForm. And then there's a big, like, actually the response rate is so high on that email. Like, I think it was like 40%. Like, just people want to actually give their feedback, and some of them don't even want the gift card. They just want their voice heard. So, the user researchers, they will just talk to them and find out as well. So it's even, it doesn't matter how big you are. I think you have to start small, and then get feedback, fix the product, get more feedback, fix the product. It's just very iterative process.
Yeah.
You cannot just like, close your door, build a product for a year, and then just dump it in front of users. It's not going to be useful, because all the things that you built that didn't receive any user feedback, it's like they are shitty, right? They
Yeah.
stink. And then if you build on top of them, like you now have like a big pile, right? But
Right.
if you start small, if you fix it when it's small, and then if you can build on it, and then if you keep fixing it, that's how you create a good product. Every good product is created that way. I never heard someone actually worked on a product for 3 years and then came out and then created a good product. Every good product is actually created slowly. So it's the first customers are really important, and you want to make sure that you get their feedback. Even if you have a consulting business, even if you have a service business, I think you should just offer your service for free. Just
Good.
offer it for free. And I heard this. This was actually I heard it from Alex Hormozy, right? Do
Yeah.
you know him? Like just big in YouTube. And then even he recommends that the first 10 users, 10 customers, just give it for free. Learn from them, fix your product, and then give them 90% discounts. The next 10 customers, 90% discount. The next 10 customers, 80% discount. Like, just go like that. Just build in all that, learning from them. And then he even said, like, don't stop when you reach your, like, when you're at 100%, right? Just, just, increase your price. But that's probably another topic.
Right. Get into the marketing strategy there. Yeah. Okay. So I was going to ask, and you've kind of touched on it there, with what you were just talking about, but looking at where you were in history when you started, SaaS was kind of starting and you were at the beginning there, and then looking at where we are now. I think in general, the principles you've laid out, don't quit your day job, start something on the side until you get traction on something, just kind of learn from the customers, give it away for free at first so you can just go through those first iterations to get something that people actually want to use and can get value out of. But what else would you say, looking at where the market is right now and somebody's maybe just getting out of college and they're like, I want to be a digital entrepreneur, start my own SaaS company or whatever? Because it seems like there's so many SaaS products now. Like, it's insane how many things, and there's a wasteland of all the failed projects and all the domain names that are, no longer in existence or whatever. So what would you say to that kind of current, just starting out entrepreneur?
I think it's a great time to start your business, your product, your service, because of AI.
Okay.
So in my lifetime, right, there was these like 3 revolutions before the AI, right? The personal computer revolution. I was kind of like, I was a kid back then, so it didn't really affect me that much. But
like the hardware side of it.
Yeah. But I actually, I still experienced it, even like 1990s, having a PC, right? I was still part of that revolution. The second one is the internet, right? That came out, and it was huge, like changed everything. Like, today we do everything by internet. Actually own the software. Actually now, everything is about software. And the third one was the mobile revolution, and that also changed everything. Like, today we are all like walking around with a computer, with a very powerful computer in our hands, in our pockets. And the fourth one is definitely AI. AI is as big as these 3 revolutions. So if you are starting out right now, I think it's a great time. Like, I wish, like, I was just graduating from college now, and I was, doing a startup. And I would recommend the same strategy I used when I launched my product, which is the technology angle. Just learn the technology, like, just create something that's very impressive to people using the new technology, because people want to talk about AI. People want to talk about the new technologies. So that's a great angle. Just, spend the time to learn the new technology, apply it to your product, because there's just like so many opportunities right now with AI. People are just discovering them, right? The big companies are also on it, like they are doing their own thing. But the big companies, they're only looking into like big opportunities. And sometimes the opportunities are so small that it doesn't make sense for a big company to work on. But that's going to get big in time. The market is going to explode in time. So if you can find that niche that can be really improved by AI, I think that's a great opportunity to start a company on. And when you do it, people are going to talk about it, because if it involves AI, people are talking about it, and it's exciting. So I think this is a great time. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you learned SEO in your earlier projects, and you interacted directly with forum communities. And those are all different ways of getting that exposure, that initial exposure. And I think with your earlier products, you just literally put it on the internet and people just found it because it was back in the day, maybe when there was less competition on that side of just websites that offered what you had. And that goes more into the SEO part of it. But what would you say about that part of getting exposure, finding that target customer?
Today it's like if I was doing a startup today, I would definitely use YouTube. I think that's huge.
Okay.
There is just and social media, and those are huge. But I think SEO still works well because people are still Googling things. When they need a product, they will Google it. They kind of use social media and YouTube more for like, exploration, discovery, but when they need a product, like they are going to actually Google it. So I would definitely learn SEO as well, like how to do keyword research, how like content marketing. I think these are still important and they will always be important to bring traffic to your website, to your product. It could also be a mobile product, so it's kind of different as well. But
Right.
that also involves like mobile SEO. So definitely, like, so there's still like those two problems still exist. How can you make a good product, and how
Right.
can you bring people to use? How can you bring people to use your product? So you still need to solve those problems. So I would definitely make it free. Try to get like people to talk about my product, build some, community around my product so that, it's, when I release a paid version, when I have paid features, then I could actually use that community or the users. So because like it's a big cold start problem, just having like people to use your product when it's not very good. And if they don't use your product, it's not going to get better. Yeah. So it's a challenge, but I think it's a great time to do it.
Great advice all around. I think you've got a book that's out right now. Do you want to tell us about that?
Over the years, I found out that JotForm is actually about automation. Because like in the beginning, I was thinking, okay, I'm helping people create forms, but it turned out that forms are just like a one first step in a journey, and they're basically like people fill out forms not just to fill out forms, but to accomplish things like complete, make a request, register for something, apply for something, pay for something, like just buy something, or like just if it's a lead generation form, just it's the first step in the sales journey. So I discovered that actually forms are part of this, people's workflows, and we needed to automate things for them, right? So we started building all these additional products as well in JotForm, like e-signatures, document generation, app building, approvals, workflows, right? So I learned so much about automation, both for myself and for my team and for our users, for our customers. I learned so much about automation. So I wrote a book about automation, Automate Your Busy Work. It came out last year and it became a Wall Street Journal bestseller. So you can actually find the first chapter of my book for free. Like there's a free chapter on my website. It's my first name, last name.com, aytekintank.com. And they can go there and they can get the first free chapter. And if they like it, get the book. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Aytekin, thank you so much for being here today. This was full of a lot of value, so I know the listeners got a lot out of it. Everybody go check out his book. What's the full book title?
Automate Your Busy Work.
Automate Your Busy Work.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you on the next First Customers podcast. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.